Home wallpapering made easy. Do you believe that?
Oh.
Shows you how to put up your own wallpaper. That must have been a big seller. If you think, now those are kind of, tacky.
Yeah.
But if you think those are bad, look at some of the others. You see, this is really, they didn't do too well. I thought this one was bad taste. It's called Hitler, the Balloon Animal Years. And that's it.
Didn't go.
Well, Playboy, has had dozens, I guess, of sexy videos, on the Playmuts, but this is one of their least successful, called Girls of the Nixon Administration. Well, in 3 short weeks, you can have hauntingly beautiful biceps. That's the promise of this exercise video from Zamfir, called Pumping Flutes. Zamfir and his pan flute. Well, you said there's old television classics like I Love Lucy and Star Trek do well in video stores, but I personally draw the line at something like this. Have you seen this? Mr. Ed's Staple Bloopers. That's it. What do we have here? Now, here's something I really didn't want. It's the video autobiography of the Tidy Bowl Man, titled Looking Out for Number One. Folks, I warned you up front, these are bad videotapes. Home fix-it videos are big. You ever get one of those? You know how to fix the plumbing? But I have my doubts about this tape. How to Spice Up Your Marriage from PBS's Norm the Carpenter. How to belt sand the missus to a high gloss. Let's see. They even have videos for your dog. If you have a dog, here's one based on a famous Hemingway book about fire hydrants called, this is bad, The Leg Also Rises. Remember the little train that could when you were a kid?
Yeah.
I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Well, this is a very mean children's video. It's called The Little Carcass Who Couldn't. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Should not have those. Video exercises are big. Jane Fonda.
Right.
Was the biggest seller of the video aerobics thing. This may be a little too confined. This is Leona Helmsley's slammer size. Here, a major celebrity outlines her philosophy of life and success in this inspirational video. Tammy Faye Baker in Cryonetics. I don't know why anybody would buy a cassette on a dull topic like this. It's called The Theory and Practice of Subliminal Advertising. But I don't... that's what it's called. I knew that was dicey to begin with. Well, this was released on Christmas Day, a blatant attempt to make a quick buck. I saw Mommy giving asylum to Santa Claus. I mean, you see that? They got that on the Christmas. Anyway, they're just bad videos that you shouldn't buy. Nice to see you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Were you home for Christmas? How was it?
Home for Christmas. Well, one of our twins and her husband were with us. So
that's great.
And we had some friends in for Christmas dinner. It was all very nice.
Yeah, that's good. Well, what'd you get for Christmas? People asked me a moment ago what I got for Christmas.
I got some handkerchiefs.
Oh, what a thrill!
And I got a hat that I told her I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think
That's
of
about it, huh?
Yeah.
A hat and some handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys always get stuff like that. It's either a tie or a sweater, or slippers were very big when I was growing up. You know, slippers.
Last year I
Got the slippers last year. Yeah. Then it gets more difficult, I guess, every year once you've been through the slippers and the handkerchiefs.
Yeah, it get kind of tough to say, no, I don't need that. So, you know, you really don't want to sort of answer the question when they say, "What do you want for Christmas?"
Yeah.
Just like I'm having a hell of a time answering your question
Right now. Okay. Now, I understand you go out shopping yourself for Gloria. You actually going to do? Yeah.
Did it all in one day.
You're kidding. Mm-hmm. How many people came up to you this season and said, "I just saw you this week in It's a Wonderful Life"? Because every station on television here in Los Angeles was playing it. I think it was on cable television. I think it was on HBO. It was every place. Did people come up to you and talk about that picture?
Yeah, and actually, Christmas more than any time, but actually it's just amazing what that picture has done with the letters I get, and all year round. And they say, so-and-so, I like so-and-so, I like Westerns, so-and-so. They say, but the one I like best is It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And I've always felt so wonderful about it, the way it's developed like this for Frank Capra. Because he's a wonderful man. He's in bad health now.
I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know.
And but he had a wonderful set of values that he put in this. And it was practically his story. He did most of the writing in it.
You know, when he called you and ran through it and said, "Well, there's an angel that appears, and it's as if you never existed," what was your initial reaction to that?
I just said, "Frank, I'm your man."
And you went with it.
I wanted to do it.
There was gut instinct. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. After the war, I got home and my contract had run out at MGM, and so I was independent. And after 4 years, I said, "Well, maybe can you forget how to act?" I didn't know, and Hank Fonda and Hank was the same way. He'd been away quite a while, and we just flew kites and sort of sat around and reminisced about that.
Did both of you think that maybe because of the time you spent in the service, when you came back, your career could possibly have been over? People
Sure.
got or something? Yeah.
Sure.
I never thought of that.
That's why when Frank Capra called me on the telephone, he said, "Jim, I have an idea for a story. Why don't you come down and I'll tell you about it." Well, I ran down. and he said, "Well, now, you're in this small town and you're in savings and loan thing, and you're having a tough time and things aren't going well. And so you decide to commit suicide, and an angel named Clarence, he comes down, you're out on the bridge, and he jumps into the water to save you, and you saved him." And he said, I'm not telling this very well, am I? I said, "Frank, if you want to do a picture about an angel named Clarence who hasn't won his wing yet, and I save him, and he teaches me something, I'm your man."
And you went with it.
Yeah.
When that picture first came out, it was not a big hit, was it?
No,
Or the critics at all, or I guess not at the box office. But over the years, it has become a classic. But at the time,
I don't know why, but the only explanation I've ever thought of giving is that maybe after the war, maybe they want things changed. When you think of it, It's Wonderful Life, sort of a serious thing and sort of the troubles of Well, people have gone through 4 years of war and everything, and I think they wanted Red Skelton and they wanted Jerry Lewis, and they wanted comedy when they go to the movies. Maybe that's the reason.
It's a marvelous picture. I watch it every year. We have to take a break. We're coming right.
Black and white days, the time they spent in creating shadows, in close-ups as well as in a big room or something, the time they took creating shadows, when the colorization is, all the shadows are wiped out.
Yeah.
And all of us have orange faces. Everybody.
Orange faces are not good in pictures, any picture. Anyway, speaking.
I just can't go along with the colorization at all. I think that they should leave the black and white pictures the way they were made and forget about it.
In those days when you were what they call a contract player, when you were under contract with a studio, and you weren't in a film, you still went and worked a 6-day week, right?
6 day
at the studio.
6 day a week, and you went to work every day. You didn't spend the time sitting at home waiting for a script to come that you liked.
Right.
You went to work every day at 8 o'clock and came home at 6. And if you weren't, you would be doing tests with people they were thinking of signing.
Right.
You would be maybe working out in the gym. They had a wonderful gym over there. You would be maybe doing small parts in big pictures and big parts in little pictures, because they hated sequels in those days. They were all for variety. I remember at one point, and I just went one picture right after the other, as I say, little parts of big pictures and big parts of little pictures, but they at one point, there were 3 pictures shooting in the studio. The Three Stooges, the Andy Hardy series, and Romeo and Juliet. Now, if you
It's a great contrast.
If you can get more of a contrast than that, they were covering about everything.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo? Weird. When they loaned you out, is that the correct word, or they would loan you to another studio? Did you get into some pictures that you didn't particularly want to do at that time?
Well, just the idea of leaving the place that you come to know and everything. But the loan out thing, this was worked out very well.
Yeah.
This was worked out. And of course, the different studios, there were very few independents in those days, but you'd work 6 days a week, and Saturday night, all of us would get together from Warner's, from MGM, and 20th Century, and Columbia, and all of us would collect at the Trocadero. Remember the
famous
Trocadero?
nightclub, famous night spot.
It's not there anymore, but it was more than a nightclub. It was an enormous place for dinner, and all sorts of good orchestras played, and every once in a while, George Burns and Jack Benny and everybody would get up and try and outdo each other.
Perform.
And one time we were there, and a sort of middle-aged woman, a little on the heavy side, came in with a little girl in bobby socks, went up to Phil Harris, who was leading the orchestra, and she said, could my daughter sing a few songs? And Phil said, this woman just asked me if this kid can sing a few songs. And what do you think of that? We all applauded and everything. She was on for 40 minutes. It was Judy Garland.
Yeah. Oh, little child. Anyway, let me ask you, I know you can't stay tonight before you leave. Did you make any New Year's resolutions this year? I know it's an old question, but I think last year I asked you that question also, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
I'm going to make another to speak faster.
You made that last year.
I make it, and I make that resolution every, and it works for a couple of months.
And then you're back to you.
And then, yeah, it's a very slow thing.
Well, stay you and come back here anytime you want.
Well,
And Happy New Year.